Well, I don't know anything about Wetlands because I've never been there on a character that could level there.
We go to Wetlands.
So let's go do our last quests in Loch Madon and then head up to Wetlands. All right, you guys got mounts right at the end of the last time.
Yeah. Isn't our Hearthstone set to Loch Madon still?
Yes. Yeah. Wait, Stout Lager in.
I think that's the one in the middle of Loch Madon.
All right.
Or I'm about to find out because I'm loading it.
Yep.
So how has your day been? Your old day marathon Factorio-a-thon?
No, so Factorio ended up getting cut short because AT&T was out in 3 counties in Northern California.
Oh.
And my brother had to go make sure that all of their little satellite sites for Nevada County's water district had some way of phone contact or internet or whatever services they needed. It dawns on me that you probably have no idea what he does.
JR?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's the IT manager for the county water district up there. So basically, shit goes wrong on the weekend, he's got to deal with it.
Just had the moment where I caught that you guys were on the wrong audio channel. Whoops.
Whoa.
It's like, something sounds slightly weird, and I looked at the meters, I'm like, that one's not moving. Oh, my job. Anyway, Mechanostrider. Best mount ever. How do I get wings for it? I don't want a flying mount, I just want a Mechanostrider that flies. That seems way better.
I don't think they upgraded the Striders to have wings.
Nick, I'm gonna need you to do something a little ostentatious.
That mount is retarded. Like, it is just, it's massive for no reason.
It's the best idea. Is Elder Silvervein here to give us a quest that's relevant, or is it a daily or an event?
It'll just basically be free experience. It's an event thing.
Oh, those again.
Might as well.
A coin of, oh, I remember Coin of Ancestry.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is it time for the weird, like, WoW specific holiday thing that happens every year where there's like a parade? What's the festival, that thing that WoW has? That's like not, it's at least not as clearly a specific real life holiday, but it might correlate with one that I don't know about.
WoW has a lot of holidays, but I'm pretty sure this is just their version of New Year.
The Dark Moon Fair. That's what I was thinking of.
Dark Moon Fair is like a monthly thing.
Is it really?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, geez. Was it always that way?
Yeah. First weekend of every month.
Huh. If I remember correctly, it like takes over Goldshire, as far as Alliance goes at least.
Ah, they changed it. It has its own island now.
there's a Dark Moon Fair island.
Yeah.
There's Dark Moon lands.
And it actually has like a whole bunch of mini games and ways to interact with it.
I want to say that was another part of the game that had some sort of weird set you were collecting, like how there's those hunter pages. Was it? Oh, there was cards.
Yeah, that's related to inscription.
Whereas back at vanilla, I think that was like the only feature. It was like, you can collect cards for some reason, and it probably gave you like rep or title or something.
Rep for the Insane in the Membrane achievement.
The Twilight Landshaper.
Heck yeah. Looks like it's up here in this Twilight camp.
Nope, there it goes. Who would have known that these weird belly shirt Twilight people might be the ones behind everything? It is a weird look, right? Like we're fully armored everywhere except the midriff. What? I had not seen that attack yet. Your thousand punch weird. I don't even know what to call it. Huh. Kind of stands out. You know, I'm not sure if all the overblown effects fully work if the thing dies in one hit.
Sure they do. All the overblown effects are overblown and totally necessary.
There's a Mega Satan Orb and 500 particle effects, and then it dies in 2 hits, and the quest is over in 30 seconds. And it's like, huh.
You did it? You did?
I think the actual endgame bosses used to have less production value than that one did.
Very good.
Yes.
Good news, we're supposed to talk to somebody.
Oh, is this going to take us into that?
Might take us straight to Wetland. I don't think there's a local servant to Cho'Gall. Time to fuck up some ogres again. I don't think there's a local instance, so there's nothing to funnel us towards there.
Let's see, we got some weird vine-looking things. I bet these aren't shared.
Nope.
Never really are they? It occurs to me that a
Good times.
significant portion of this game's overall play time is spent, like, observing ogres' inability to wear belts. See?
Oh,
He wouldn't have died like that if he was willing to keep his pants up.
this is true.
There's a specific weakness in his hide, which is the exposed crack.
So they did this thing in the new expansion content, or like the Legion content, where you can, like, multiple people can interact with the same node for a short window.
Yeah, I remember there being a few little quality of life fixes. I played Legion just long enough to, like, kind of finish each zone.
Kind of.
We did, like, most of the stuff, if I remember correctly. I don't know if we finished the one that you're supposed to do after you hit max level.
Saramar?
No. Don't you read r/WoW? It's called Sarimi.
Sorry. I don't.
There's a big giant elves city there that the Blizzard devs just sort of hid.
Oh, right, this thing. Yeah, okay.
That they hid?
Alright. I haven't been on r/WoW in like 6 months.
There was a wonderful comment thread where people were pointing out large, obvious things as wondrous things that they never would have seen if not for Blizzard's updated leveling experience, like Orgrimmar. Just people being cheeky.
There's, like, talking about discovering the most obvious parts of the game. It is weird realizing that like a lot of the revamps they've made have kind of like, and yeah, you would have no reason to visit like huge chunks of the available locations.
Still working on those Elementium things.
Yep.
Ow.
They all like simultaneously didn't exist, so I assume I looked one way and everyone gathered all the other ones.
Oh yeah, sorry, I grabbed like 5 in a row.
So now they've all like simultaneously respawned after our first wave. There we go. This is just the tiny Illidan Murloc sprinting after you. At, well, only 60% increased speed, I guess.
The running sound effects for these Mechanostriders is interesting.
It's like
Very
a weird...
distinct.
It's like a weird little rattle.
Yeah. A little servo noise with a clink.
It's getting us in the mood for Christmas. In February. Just in time. Oh, time to go back in the cave.
Yep.
Do you
What's
think
Nick
that
doing?
you think that at some point the protagonists of the WoW universe would be able to like predict that maybe you're supposed to like, you know, every time you're sent to go wipe out a group of things that's next to a cave, that maybe the next mission is going to be kill the dude in the cave. So maybe we could just take care of that in advance.
The Donald was figuring out why abilities weren't working.
Why weren't abilities working?
Because the ability that I wanted to use could only be used under a specific circumstance unless I talented into it at level 90. And I'm just not about waiting that long to be able to press that button.
Let's go kill Gorecrash, shall we? Gorecrash.
Gotta pay the proper respects and get the name right before you execute someone. It's only fair. That guy died so fast that I was sure that we had walked in on another party already fighting things. I was like, surely he didn't just do the entire fight just then. Starting to think that the new level experience might not actually be that much rebalanced.
So
Oh.
I've seen plenty of complaints about instances being overtuned as a result.
Oh, there he is. Well, he's odd looking. Somebody came from straight out of our D&D campaign.
So Marty's cheating by having a heirloom weapon. Just throwing it out there.
Not cheating since they don't give the leveling bonus.
It just might be why things are dying instantly.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. I mean,
I
they're not.
specifically equipped heirloom items that wouldn't give the experience bonus because I don't feel like replacing item slots while I level.
Man,
So
aren't
do
you a method actor?
a method actor? So do you have like a full armor set so you don't have to ever open your inventory basically?
No. Most of the slots give experience bonus, but trinkets and weapons and cape. No, that's not one. Trinkets and weapons and my neck. Can dismount, kill the thing, loot it, and remount before you've dismounted.
Oh yeah?
You've
What-
done it.
what is the
when
metric
they
for that
not
even?
stopped it. I don't know.
What's on your mind? See you soon.
Said something about a metal bird. Talk to Ando Blastenheimer.
Maybe these guys should just like walk across the street and hang out with each other. Since they need messages sent to each other.
No, he's saying that this guy came over looking for us.
It's working. My father brought it.
Right, the Sky Strider.
Oh no.
The
Alga's station.
I don't think. Oh.
It's like my other mount, but shittier. Oh.
Oh.
Now this is pod racing. Wait, how do I get this mount? This is literally what I was just asking for, is the flying version.
Yes, yes, it is.
You don't get this.
It's just got a butt rocket. That's all I want. It's perfect. Are you telling me you wouldn't buy this mount if you could?
I would totally buy this mountain if I could. I just don't think we actually can.
It's incredible. Oh, it's Dwarf Rushmore.
It's Broken Dam.
This is bizarre.
With faces on the front of it for whatever reason.
This is almost certainly a new quest. I do not remember this kind of weirdness happening.
Here there.
A flying mechanical strider?
Yeah, what the blazes was that? There we go. Travel to Wetlands. We did it, you guys. We beat Lochmodan.
Alright. Finally, our breadcrumb into Wetlands.
I primarily associate this place with being ganked by undead while trying to get a night elf to the human zone.
Undead? Ha. Crocolisks were my thing. Just the things patrolling next to the road.
Yeah. A lot of high-level things to aggro from really far away. And then there's also always that temptation to jump off that hill. Like from... I think from Ironforge you could like jump down the hills down towards Wetlands, and it was always kind of tempting to try, but like a lot of the falls, at least in vanilla, would like do really massive damage.
I did that once with a mage, like level 20 mage with slow fall.
Oh, there was that thing too, is that it was such a high mountain that if you did slow fall from the top, that you'd end up like with slow fall like running out, I think, like right above the city, and you just fall to your death.
It was like a 15-second buff or something like that.
Yeah, like it was too short for that fall.
Yeah, and that was when slow fall used to take feathers as a reagent.
Yeah.
So I did it once, and I didn't know I wasn't going to get to the bottom, so I only had like one feather on me at the time.
Man, so many skills used to require kind of annoying weird regents. Especially if you were a rogue or a mage or something.
I liked it.
I don't really miss it. Mainly because, like, especially with like poison crafting in particular, it's like, oh, you go to the store to get poison and then you just buy the exact ingredients from the merchant and then make the poisons. Like the cost was so negligible and all the ingredients were at one vendor, so it was kind of like, why bother with the mechanic? Like the one thing you had to go out of your way for was you needed blind weed in order to use blind. And so you needed to buy, so it was the one herb in all of the auction house that was like disproportionately expensive.
Because all rogues needed it.
Yeah, so like where every other herb was like 10 copper at the time, that one was like a full gold for every single individual one.
See, I didn't mind stuff like that because it gave flavor to the abilities. Like, oh right, I actually need to do stuff to be able to use this. I can't just press a button and have it happen every time.
Jump off the cliff or go down the path.
Whee!
Off the cliff it is.
I would have not have survived that in vanilla. Wow.
You also went off the cliff to go through the tunnel rather than just off the other side.
Shh. I wasn't paying that much attention. But I do like that. I did like that you had some sort of decision to make about what skills to use and stuff like that. Like in particular, it used to matter how much mana spells cost. Because like when you're just alone as a spellcaster doing quests, like you had to worry about whether or not you could get through the fight with the pool of mana that you had. But Blindweed felt kind of dickish for a while.
Talk to me. Be good.
Well met.
Are you not using heirloom weapons then, Nick?
See you soon.
Nope.
What's on your
What
mind?
kind of weapons are you using?
How are you?
Just the ones off of drops and out of quests. Because I don't have the two-handed. I don't have two-handed heirlooms.
Oh, geez.
For strength, anyways.
I have a strength one-hander. Sad. Here, I'll give it to you anyway in case you want to like pink.
Woo!
Ah.
Yeah, I have a strength one-hander heirloom, but doesn't help me.
One of us has been declared by the lighting as being the main character.
I guess we're gonna kill. Gotta kill. Let's kill.
We're killing a thing made out of water that's in water. That
Oh, I
sounds
know what you did.
impossible.
And we have samples of things to collect.
Oh. Oh no, that was a corpse.
Displaced Threshodons.
Over time, as more people view the Twilight Imperium series, it's like every remaining person that doesn't have anyone complain about them yet. It's like that thing about like you just live long enough to see your heroes fail. Like one by one, somebody gets pissed off at each person playing the game. Once you add enough eyes to the series.
I haven't been keeping up with the comments recently. Is there anything notable?
More recently, people turn on JR, which was inevitable. It's part of the process of meeting him. Is that a tent underwater? Oh right, they're flood elementals because the flood. This isn't supposed to be water here.
Yeah, and those trees aren't.
That's why they're
They're
displaced.
just normal trees.
They're not special water trees.
Nope.
But what if they were water trees? Consider that.
Dun dun dun.
What if all these Threshodons are just misspelled and they're actually displeased? Why don't you try asking them before you murder them all?
I don't have time for that.
Way
I'm
easier
a
just to
gamer.
kill every single one.
The master wants murder.
Master wants murder. I really got a kick out of the fact, Nick, that you did the exact same approach I did when I first did D&D, which was I came up with an excuse not to talk. Because I'm like, I don't know how to make sense of this. I know. I'll make somebody who's mute. And I think my next character was a half-orc that was just really racist and didn't like other races, and there weren't any other half-orcs in the party.
Oh god.
Which is my excuse for limited interaction.
Actually, a pretty good idea. So if you're new to the experience and you don't know what to do,
Yeah.
it gives you the opportunity to play and learn and listen at the same time.
I still struggle with it plenty too. Like, it's easy to think of actions that are in character. It's way easier to think of in-character actions than it is to think of in-character dialogue on the fly.
Has your character said anything in like the last 2 sessions?
My character hasn't said much in general. That said,
There's a little bit of
not
arguing.
a ton of talking happens in the party besides Arif and Soltron, basically. One of them being an idiot and one of them being condescending is usually the loop.
I don't understand why Soltron's character is so pally with my character. It doesn't make very much sense.
Yeah. The Pally Paladin.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm confused how our characters exist together still, and nobody's died permanently or anything, considering the alignments of some of them.
You and your fucking water strider. I still don't have one.
Like the idea that, yeah, like we have a paladin and a chaotic evil character in a party, and neither of them have killed the other yet.
I kinda find the paladin useful as a meat shield.
I wonder how chaotic, because I haven't really looked into chaotic evil that much. Like, would a chaotic evil still keep somebody around as a meat shield for that long? Or are they full crazy?
I don't know. So the character's background is he wasn't always chaotic evil. What actually happened is he discovered some horrific truth about the world, which drove him a little mad, or it otherwise told him that he needs to kill shit in order to survive, or in order for the world to make sense. So he does. He kills a lot of things.
So he had himself a sad person day.
Oh yeah.
And I was taking it out on everybody else.
Be good. Interest you on a pint? Watch your back.
I basically just made it so that my character has an excuse to do any dumb shit I feel like for spellcasting purposes, because he just became a sorcerer on accident. It's like, so the idea of him not knowing what he's doing is a fun excuse, which is also kind of what happened in our YouTube series. Actually, is we have a D&D series where my character didn't know he was a dragon.
I like how you're autopiloting on the next quest while Nick's still finishing the previous
Yeah.
ones.
I went off on my own.
I saw a gathering quest and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going, because I'm always the one trailing behind on these anyway. So if they're gonna have me just pick up a bunch of environment things, I'm just gonna keep going. The lack of shared stuff's always a bit frustrating when you're trying to have a co-op experience.
Yeah.
Let's all co-op together, and by that I mean let's compete for loot and actively deter each other from progressing. Yeah. Did I tell you how that system is how I got reported for the first and last time ever?
Really?
Yeah, I got like a message from like the game masters or whatever, and got, I don't remember if I got suspended or a warning or what. And the warning itself was bullshit, because it was like a really not accurate, like way too literal interpretation of what I was saying that didn't make sense. Particularly the idea that like saying "fuck off" is the equivalent of like simulating sexual acts is like, that's not an accurate. That is not an accurate interpretation and penalty application to use. But yeah, I was in, it might have been Hinterlands or something, and there was just, you know, the usual thing where it was just one annoying thing that you have to pick up individually. And there was a party of 2 people running around, and I was trying to loot the stuff too. And they started insulting and yelling at me in text form for picking up stuff and being in their way, basically. And I just said, fuck off. And I got a warning because they reported me. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, the game master didn't think to, like, even look at the conversation leading up to that point. Like, whoever tells on the other first is the one that's right, I guess. It's weird.
Still gotta get so many berries.
Glower glares. I've got 2 more berries to go, but I pretty much covered the entire bank at your expense.
What?
What's the whatting? What's happened?
I just saw Marty get gripped back to a water elemental. I think.
Yeah, those elementals cast a grip spell as like their first action.
Huh. I've always just charged into them, so I guess.
You guys gonna come do this dumpy level?
Yeah, what is the dumpy thing?
Picking berries!
There's oozes up here.
There's
There's
oozes.
some berries up here too.
I'm coming! As soon as, you know.
The silty oozling. Gross. But I could look up in a textbook what their grain size is. Because silt is larger than clay, but smaller than sand.
The more you know.
The more you know. Words that mean things.
I assume one of these will drop something.
Obtain a dumpy level from a silty ooze. Oh, they just mean like a level as in like a thing for
Yeah.
leveling stuff?
Yep.
Oh. I thought we were gonna have to like acquire some kind of level for dumpy, as in like level up dumpy. Like we're like a slime was gonna level up or something. I don't know. It was way more like interesting in my head.
No, it turns out it's just a normal boring quest.
So how well do you think Vanilla WoW is going to do when they launch that? Or do you think people are just going to recoil away from it when they realize what it actually means?
The thing about Blizzard implementing Vanilla WoW is I think they're going to have to change it. I don't think they'll just say, oh, we're going to repackage it and put up servers for it.
Do you think they'll put up like a sanitized version of original WoW?
I think they will change it. They will either adapt it to work on the updated graphics engine, or they will, you know, modify some parts of it just to like balance it better or make the classes more interesting. I don't think they will release Vanilla WoW straight. Otherwise, they would have done it already.
Definitely want it to run better than the original WoW did.
Hey, look, a dumpy level. Oh, where?
Well, I'm all caught up.
God damn it.
What happened? Did the dumpy level not loot or something?
It didn't loot, and then the corpse that I was looting disappeared.
Oh. Well,
I'm so thrilled.
time to get another dumpy level.
Are we sure somebody didn't like change this to a raid group or something like that?
What do you mean?
Because he can't complete most quests while in a raid group.
I'm fairly certain.
Okay.
Have you acquired a dumpy level?
Nope.
I have not.
Maybe, oh, maybe it's not shared loot.
Oh, you think somebody else looted it? And then you couldn't get it?
Did you get one?
I've had mine for a while now. Like, even before you said that, I was like, oh yeah, I got my last berry. And I was ready to head out. Is there a reason to swap out your pet? Do they have different stats anymore, or are they just homogenized?
Not really.
So I could just keep this pet until I'm a level 110 endgame raider. And with a bunny rabbit.
So the things that are different is they get some unique abilities per pet family if you're a BM hunter.
Marty,
What?
did you come loot this corpse?
Where? Over there?
Camping. I got a level off that one.
There it is. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're free.
Get out of here.
Free from the level.
Sorry, continue.
I don't remember what I was saying.
It was spawned from the pet discussion.
Yeah,
right.
Beastmaster Hunter categories.
Yeah. Pet families get some unique abilities. So some of them can give bloodlust, some of them can give a battle res, some of them can do like an AoE. I think they still have the AoE reduced accuracy ability. Some of them can give you slow fall. But other than those, the pets are identical.
You want some other pants, Marty?
Heck yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
I asked him if he wanted some pants.
I thought you
Or
asked.
strength, or stem
I
leather
thought you
belt.
asked if you wanted smaller pants, and he said, "Heck yeah!" I'm like, I don't context.
Yeah, we're getting Marty into skinny jeans.
The whole new look. It's for him and Ashley's anniversary re-wedding. Have you ever heard of Hand of Fate?
I've heard, there's a Mystery Science Theater.
Oh, you're thinking
episode.
of Manos.
Manos, the Hands of Fate.
There's an indie video game series, 2 games so far, that are like try to simulate the concepts behind tabletop games, with like drawing cards and playing cards as tiles of a dungeon at random from a deck and rolling dice and crap like that. It's interesting. What's interesting to me is that when I play video games that are inspired by tabletop games, they usually aren't good tabletop games. Like they take all the worst lessons almost, and they just use that as an excuse to have heavy randomized elements, but don't necessarily actually do the things well that tabletop games usually do well. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. So someone probably went, hey, these mechanics work really well and this game did really well. If I make that into a video game, I'll make millions. I'll be rich.
I've been playing Hand of Fate, and it's been really taking me aback how much sometimes, like, what happens is out of my hands and insane random results happen, and how often, like, the game will be like, draw one of these 4 cards, and one of them is a good thing, and the other ones are bad things, or roll the dice and try to, with 3 dice, try to break a 15 and stuff like that. And it's just mad gambits of randomness on a regular basis.
But why?
Yeah, I'm not super sure.
Like, is there any sort of mitigating factors?
There can be, part of which is that you're allowed to build the deck to some extent. There's a weird hybrid system where whenever you're, each time you're doing it, you're playing the dealer's scenario. So the dealer has some kind of level you're trying to beat. Almost like, say, what's it called? The haunted house game, Betrayal?
Right.
Where it's like a scenario that exists outside of you. But like you're picking, you have to pick a couple pieces of starting gear, and you pick, like, you basically make your own deck that gets shuffled with the dealer's deck. So to some extent you can mitigate things and strategize, but there's still like a huge element of like impossible RNG that can never be defeated that can happen. And there's no real escaping that if it happens.
Am I the only one getting a little bit of feedback from Keith?
Feedback?
Not like a screeching thing, but it's like I hear an echo or something. Might
Not
just be
hearing
through Discord.
I
Okay,
don't
Don't
know.
mind me.
There's 2 up here, Keith. I'm gonna take one.
Obviously, I'm just so close to Marty in the house that you can hear me on his microphone.
I mean, it's possible to hear Soltron upstairs.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
God.
that's a different standard.
I got the seismic record and I spawned a big thing.
Oh?
Alright, the Donald can handle it.
I'm gonna get
There's
close enough to
Niels.
hit it with one shot. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. Aha, I did it. Alright, I helped. Oh, shit.
Go click on the interacty thing in case that'll actually... oh, never mind. You loot it from this guy.
Yeah, he drops it. He keeps coming back. Leave, damn it. I said leave. As he respawns for the 17th time. Furious with us.
How dare you make me leak my own water?
It's weird, like I don't know if my memory is accurate or not, but I swear the first Hand of Fate was more like Darkest Dungeon or some of these other roguelike sort of games where it's like some randomization things happen, but you're constantly you're mitigating risks, and you're like often like taking gambles willingly and like sort of doing like engaging in risk reward systems. Whereas in Hand of Fate 2, I've literally stepped on a tile and watched my character drain from full health to no health in one move with no interaction in between. And I'd be like, what? Why would you do that? No tabletop game would ever run that way. I've played a lot of them now. Well, none of them except for Jake's really shitty one that I laugh about, basically. That one where you just fall in a hole and die and you never made any decisions and nothing happened. There is not much ore.
There isn't. You're probably going to want to go back up to that upper area. I see one on the exit there.
This tactic of standing near each other probably doesn't really help the whole ore situation, does
I've
it?
already finished. There's also one behind us.
Oh yeah, the one up here spawned too.
Yeah, I went and ran a different direction just to go get the ores.
Oh, this is the front door.
Yeah.
Well, a really
many are
weird
you down?
sight that
2, 3?
I have 4 out of 8. It's a really weird sight that when you loot the ore, your character doesn't do the mining animation, but they pull out the mining pick anyway. But you just instantly loot it like it's a corpse.
Just think, you need an enchant to do that anywhere else.
It looks like your character thinks that rubbing the pick on the rock is how you pick it up.
My precious.
This cave is super exciting.
Have they ever done caves well?
I don't know. I see one on the down path. And I see 1, 2 up here.
What a coincidence. I need 2.
There's 3 up here.
Oh shit. Rocking the
There's-
world.
There's some caves in the Legion
Revolutionary.
that actually like loop around. So as you move through the cave, when you get to the end, quote unquote, you just drop down a ledge and you're back at the start. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's kind of normal.
Remember when they designed instances that way in Burning Crusade? That was really cool.
Yeah, a lot of Burning Crusade stuff kind of looped, didn't it? They even had a back door for Karazhan. where you get halfway through and then you get instance in and out there. We actually used it as an opportunity to swap out our raid composition sometimes, because we had people within the guild that needed loot more from either the first half of the instance or the second half of the instance.
Right.
So we would intentionally swap people out to increase the chance that maybe the right people would find stuff. And that's when I was always like, when are they going to add Worgen as a playable race? Because I think something in Karazhan would transform you into one. As like an effect. And like, I think I remember being like in the library zone.
And it's like, clearly they already have models.
Yeah. Although it was funny because the models didn't have a jump animation. But since they were turning characters into them, you could jump. So the model would just float into the air. And then float back down, roughly equal to your normal jumping arc. That's a weird sight every time. I think it's partly because the attack keeps going well after the guy's dead, so you're just kind of...
That's because it's not targeted on an enemy.
Yeah. There's just some kind of furious shotgun flurry coming out.
Fists of Fury. Pummels all targets in front of you, dealing 2,170 damage over 3.8 seconds.
See you soon.
Talk to me. Watch your back. What can I get for you today? See you soon.
Slab Chisel Survey.
How are you? Safe travels.
They're big fans of German compound words. That's like how all of naming works in WoW. Oh, we're on the long haul now. You ready to run along that road?
Jeez.
We gotta cross the entire wetlands now. Engaging Numlock.
Oh, I missed the breadcrumb.
You missed
What?
the what?
I started running. I was like, oh, okay, we just gotta go this way. And then I realized it didn't have a quest.
Is he cutting out a lot for you?
Not too bad.
I might not be holding my push to talk down as much as I should. Damn you and that fox.
I don't think I can listen to the servos all the way.
I can and I will. They're glorious. But also, video game sounds can't annoy me that much because I always have it turned down so low when I'm doing group stuff. I find that it'll like really quickly overpower my ability to understand people.
Yeah.
I guess we should go collect the flight pass while we're here.
That's probably a good idea. There's definitely the right balance, right?
Oh, there's a quest here. Kill 10 moldering mire beasts.
Tell me
Kill
around.
4,000
Be
things.
careful.
It's always harder to balance audio live than it is balancing it in editing, just because everything has a range to it.
Yeah, but once again, you can mitigate. Also, you can do compression features in OBS.
But even that doesn't, even then you have the issue of it not being live for me. As in, like, my audio isn't balanced. There's the issue of, like, me not being able to, like, hear correctly if it's not balanced right. Like, the dynamic range between, like, quietly walking around in WoW and combat happening is a huge range. And then, like, mumbly Nick versus laughing Nick can be a huge range, for example.
Who are you calling mumbly?
Let's not forget just how challenging live can be, even for experienced audio engineers.
Oh, man. That last time
Did
was
you-
super frustrating when you had so much stuff set up and it's like, yeah, it's just going to spontaneously stop working now. Like, just new problems were arising because of course they do.
I really need to switch to a desktop with dedicated USB cards for the cameras.
That probably sounds completely absurd to hear, for people to hear that, like, the, that complicated ass Twilight Imperium stream is all happening on a laptop.
It's a challenge.
Objective.
I don't like challenges.
I do.
I mean, you better if you, with the way that you stay up till like 4 a.m. to set up the code.
If it weren't challenging and interesting, there's like zero chance I'd do it, right? There's not really a whole lot of reward for doing it.
Definitely not monetary.
No.
Not monetary yet, anyways.
But one day it will be the next moderately known something that still isn't profitable.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's go fuck up some mire beasts.
This mount looks absolutely absurd.
The elk?
Yeah, look how tiny the gnome is riding on it.
That's fine. Toddlers can ride horses too. It's safe. Unstable shroom?
Don't stand next to it. It's fine.
The sight?
You should worry less.
I mean, if I never reacted to anything, we'd just sit here in silence for 2 hours.
That's actually a fair assessment. We need more of your childlike glee.
It's really interesting how different the entire energy is when you just replace all the Let's Players with random people.
It's not my fault that I can't try to play up every little detail. It's super hard. It is super hard.
And I'm super minor about it.
Yeah. As far as Let's Players go, you're fairly low energy. You know, just get a little action. Okay, that was good.
The real thing that happens usually is the multiplayer stuff is more conversational.
Yeah, and we've been talking about plenty of things that have nothing to do with WoW.
Which is always the inherent gap, is like the whole thing becomes wildly less game focused the moment there's a second person involved. Because it's really weird, because like the standard Let's Play thing is to like almost be like self-narrating and like explaining what things, and that's like really annoying to witness in a as another person in the room. And like if one person was just self-narrating the entire experience all the time, it'd just be really weird. So it completely changes everything about it.
And now you can see Marty rolling towards them.
If I just start John Maddening it, like I'm just narrating what you're doing and chasing you around. Not even playing anymore. I'm just narrating every action that Marty takes for the next hour. Are you imagining it
It's
now?
absurd. Yeah, it's absurd. It's totally absurd.
And yet there's people who do that. They're called shoutcasters.
Shoutcasters with their teams of people observing what people are doing.
Yeah.
And their groups commentating.
It's still odd. I think I've told you before that like John Madden's one of the first things I tried to one of the things I bring up when I try to explain my job. If they don't know what Mystery Science Theater 3000 is or something, I'm like, I don't know how else to talk about the idea of commentary.
Could you imagine trying to explain what you do to someone that doesn't even watch TV, let alone
like explain to a caveman how you make your money or what money is and what society is? I mean, at some point, if you make the redactions, you're going so far back that you have to like redefine how life works.
How may I help? Have you any life?
Well, I definitely work with someone who doesn't watch TV and hates computers.
Did I mess up? I didn't have for
Did
Pete's
you?
sake.
Which one was that?
We're supposed to extinguish these fires.
Yeah, we definitely did that.
Oops. Well, good news is all these fires are unattended now.
They
Got
were
this.
shared. They were properly shared.
Oh no. So I'm just an asshole.
See, you're the guy that actually goes and tries to extinguish all the fires in the field instead of doing
Leaving after
something.
7.
And then the quest giver's like, nope, you can't do any of these anymore. The field's on fire, man. Nope, you gotta go.
And it actually works because peat is actually flammable and is actually found in marshes. Because peat is the part organic material, plant matter, part soil that compresses and eventually like becomes like oil and stuff. That's why it's on fire. Well, no, presumably someone lit it on fire. It's an important step.
Like those fire elementals.
Yeah.
Ishnu Allah.
Welcome to Nature Facts with Keith. The more you know.
Be careful.
Okay, so are we taking that detour to the north? Probably.
Wow, my inventory is completely full. That's obnoxious. Hello,
Oh, is there a
weaponsmith.
vendor?
Yeah, there's a weaponsmith.
Hell yeah!
Oh,
Farewell.
oh. I have Flood Surge cores, which begin a quest, but only at level 25.
My goods are of the highest.
No!
What was that
Goddess
reaction?
watch over you.
I had 3 of those in my bag, and I was like, oh, this was the quest that we already turned in.
You
I'm
didn't
just gonna get rid of these.
you didn't like read them or anything?
I tossed him too.
Oh, well, I'll have to share that one probably if that works that way.
No.
Maybe?
Which it might not, but who knows. You dummies. Some WoW experts you guys are.
I mean, I kept looting those things off that mob we kept spawning in the cave.
Yeah, so I looted 3 of them, and I had 2 left over in my bag. So naturally, I thought that
Good luck,
I actually
friend.
turned that in already.
Yeah, when you highlight it, it says, this item begins to quest, required level 25. You goofs.
We going north?
Might as well, it's along the way. Seems kind of intentional.
I think maybe that's the way the zone's supposed to work.
Yeah, like we're supposed to just see a bunch of opportunities to quest on the way to the long-ass, far-away place.
Yeah.
It's more of a Morrowind quest design.
So about that Kingdom Come Deliverance, I watched your first episode, and I will say your ending to the starter area was much different than mine.
Yours wasn't the end of the game, roll credits. A canonical, you died, start the game over.
Though I have to say, the whole sequence leading out of town was really, really atrocious. I hated the whole thing. Like, it was interesting the way they approached it, but it really sucks not getting to do anything and just have people shooting arrows at you.
Yeah, there's almost no gameplay for most of the game, for like hours and hours at the beginning. Like, just a bunch of scripted things are happening, and you're mostly supposed to just do the thing they're telling you to do, or run away, or watch people talk to each other. And there's as somebody who plays RPGs constantly, there are way better ways of handling basically everything they did.
I will say it is really interesting though, and I am fascinated with the characters and the way the story has happened thus far. But
that save system though.
That's fine.
Really undercuts their whole argument that it increases realism when, like, the number one place I've used save so far was that during the running away from town part, the checkpoint is the moment that it's time to run away from town, and they put you in a spot where you might die like 7 times if you're doing the wrong actions.
Yep.
Which means you're gonna be essentially saving and loading, but in their rules. But you're not allowed to do that for the rest of the game.
I did the horse sequence like 10 times.
Oh yeah,
it took an eternity, and
they're trying to kill you.
And on several occasions I respawned at that spot where the sequence begins, and there was already a guy standing behind me and he would stab me to death. Yep. I'm just like, oh, okay. Let's try. Oh, no, respawned, and he's there. Okay.
To add to the pile, I had a weird glitch where after I died a certain number of times, the game just became dark from that point on, and it wouldn't stop. And like there was literally just like it was like if you took a black, like paint bucket fill tool like layer, and put it at like 30% opacity and put that over the whole game. Like for everything from the interface to the graphics, like everything on the screen was just kind of dark for no reason, and you could tell it wasn't supposed to be there because every time I'd pause the game and the pause menu would come up, it would go away and the game would be brighter for like a split second before like the interface stuff popped up to show me everything. Balgrass,
you are all dead. Your petty triumphs have been futile. The power of the Twilight's hammer is absolute. Rejoice, for you shall be first to die. We will sweep across Cosmodon and burn all to ash.
I don't care how many times I have to kill you. I'll take all of you on to save this land. As they all stand there motionless.
What luck! The offerings throw themselves upon the altar.
For Cosmodon! Really good dialogue timing. I like the part where they talked over each other and then later somebody stood still for like 10 seconds before saying something. That was... What is that? Did one of you guys do that?
No.
What is that? that spell was like 3 times longer than the fight was.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Clearly,
cool.
the spell effect was meant to do something.
Shoulders. Do I want crit or versatility?
Probably crit. Versatility kind of sucks, but your stat numbers are so low right now that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just don't understand my class. I used to have all that crap set up where like the tooltip would give you point values for all the stats and try to calculate relative worth, like how worth it is to have like X amount of haste versus X amount of like agility and the 17 other stats that govern just rogue damage alone. Things have changed a bit. There's like 3 stats now.
Hey, there's 4.
It's interesting to think that the most complicated races now have fewer stats than classes now have fewer stats than my simple ass rogue class.
I was really cranky about the removal of a bunch of things in WoW, but it's actually played out fairly nicely.
Is it because of that 2-person? Is it because of that 2-button person you were talking about?
Yeah. Well, I think it started before him, but yeah.
Ow! Ow! Stop! How are they reaching me?
They have guns.
Shh. No one needs to know.
Right turn, Cave.
There's a ramp here.
Yeah, we're going up the hill.
Oh.
Yeah, we were running towards the next waypoint that had, I mean, the next spot that had the flight path.
hubs.
These were not here before, I don't think. I'm pretty sure you had to like walk across this whole place for every quest.
Welcome.
I think the only flight path was in the capital city on the far left. Or whatever you want to call it. Well, the only city, actually. Oh, we have to go south.
Down and around? I think
Oh yeah, there's a path over there. I can see it, I think.
I'm just gonna play that off like I didn't have my glasses on.
Do you even wear glasses at the computer?
Nope.
Well, so you didn't have your glasses on.
Right.
Oh shit.
This might be
Plot
the
twist.
issue.
That was a reveal. After like 4 or 5 years of doing Let's Plays with Andrew, we discovered that he really needed glasses. And it kind of explained a lot about a lot of things. Like he was just refusing to get glasses for no particular reason. Something I never understood. I don't know, like like I spent all of elementary school not knowing I had bad eyes, and the instant I realized I had eye problems, I'm like, oh shit, glasses, this'll fix everything. But both Andrew and my dad have this weird thing where they recoil away from the idea of getting glasses for some reason. Even though they're like super useful if you need them. And they improve your life.
I'm sure that I'm going to be getting glasses soon. Just because there's usually eye problems in my family.
Yeah.
Not to mention my basic eye problem.
My whole mom's side of the family has glasses. So I really wasn't surprised when I started needing glasses.
It was just this really funny reveal to realize that I was playing video games with someone for years that for the longest time really couldn't see the screen that well, which is kind of an important part of the process. I started picking up on the fact that he was straight up not noticing really vital things that are basically on the screen. And not like the normal Let's Player blindness, but like genuine blindness.
Did you start picking up on it actually before he got glasses, or?
I started pointing it out, and then he finally like he just like one day admitted like that he doesn't have good eyesight, and I'm like, why is that unaddressed?
This seems like something that you can solve.
I think I kind of pushed him into getting glasses.
Good work.
It was just weird. Yeah, for the longest time throughout all of our old videos, he never had glasses, and then one day he has glasses in every video. It's like
He's had glasses as long as I've known him.
Like that was a really weird stubbornness that served no purpose. But he's not the first person to have that weird refusal. I just don't get it.
There must be some deeper psychology here, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I didn't wear glasses in middle school because I thought people would make fun of me, so I wore contacts, but I got over that pretty fast because contacts are a huge pain in the ass.
like glasses, if that's your first encounter with your body being imperfect, it could be a real mindfuck, I bet.
It's definitely not Andrew's. Andrew probably has the most visits to the doctor out of anyone I know, just because the constant, like, here's all the things killing you now issues. He's just used to it, which makes it all the more weird.
You guys still killing stuff?
I'm good.
I need one more tools, but stuff is aggroing, so I'm just wiping it out. Oh, there's more tools. It's spawning behind us.
Things are mad at me, so I'm committing genocide.
That seems like a totally normal and adult way to react.
Are you Kenny?
Holy shit, this mount has headlights. Literally headlights.
Yep. Like its eyes are headlights. You guys have way more expensive versions of this mount than I do.
Well, yeah.
Mine doesn't
This
have
one-
headlights.
This particular version requires killing a lot of people.
It is kind of great that it's lighting up the darkness we're in. It's not really, but I mean,
No, it's doing
implied.
it's doing jack all.
It's pretending to help. The best kind of help. The Facebook Slack division kind of headlights.
Safe travels.
Hopes and dreams. I mean, wishes. Or prayers and wishes, not hopes and dreams. Those are completely different things. But they're both fake.
We've sent over
Anger
400,000 smiles from the U.S. alone.
Anger Fang Dragon Maw.
Hold up. Hold up.
It really is like going back to take German again, where it's just words mashed together.
I always forget that you took German.
Yeah.
That's very strange that 3 people in this house can speak German.
I mean, I don't know about speak. Have encountered some quantity of German. Hey, you also leveled up from discovering this zone.
I was like, huh, I wonder how far behind I am if these guys just leveled.
And then you walk up and leveled from walking into it.
Apparently not that far.
Yeah. It's always really unusual to level up from walking into a zone. Because you're like, it's like startling. It's like, what happened? I'm just walking. Do I have walking experience? Apparently.
Yes.
It's one of those, it's about as uneventful as like when you're playing an Elder Scrolls game and your walking makes you level up and you're like, oh, I can level up now because I was halfway down this street. That's kind of the approach that KCD did, is it's now kind of doing the Elder Scrolls system, I think, where you're just doing an action a lot makes you better at that action, and that's how all the actions work.
Yeah. So when I read that in the description, that was actually one of the things that I thought that I would like most about this game. 'Cause that's how skills worked in like Star Wars Galaxies and
It's how they work
Eternity ago.
it's how Fable works. In Fable, all of your attacks were split between melee, ranged, and magic, and if you did magic attacks to kill enemies, you'd get magic experience to spend on magic skills. It was interesting. It was just weird because I think in part 2 of my series, actually, I fought against that one guy that owes your family money, and I was fist fighting him with like 0 strength. Because the 2 dialogue options I had at the beginning that affect your character's build at all both made me good at talking to people, so I had 0 stats. But over the course of fighting him, I leveled up my strength twice because it was such a long fight because I was doing like 0 damage, and so I went from doing 0 damage to doing chip damage to doing like half his health and 1 hit damage from the skill leveling up over the course of the fight.
I had a significant problem with that encounter. Like I sat when the skill thing came up and I read, okay, how does the fighting work? Right. And my first thing was, okay, what is the block button?
Yep.
And every time that I tried to use block during that entire encounter, my character threw a punch instead.
What?
And I was instantly like, okay, all right, I'm doing something wrong. Try again. Nope, no. I take another hit to the face.
Did
okay,
the tutorial
try again.
tell you the wrong button or something?
I don't know. But so that was the thing. I'm like, okay, well, I done fucked up. What do I do about this? I open up the codex, can't find anything about fist fighting. I look through the controls, can't find a button for block. I'm just like,
that stood out to me that I've been
this?
playing for like 5 minutes and immediately the codex is already impossibly cumbersome. And it's like there's this endless list of things to look into, and like if I want to know how a mechanic works, I already don't know how to find it, and there's not, and this is the beginning of the game. And it's weird because the game also spams you with tutorial messages, but at the worst possible times, and they didn't think to maybe pause the game so you could read the tutorial. It just pops up in the corner of the screen, then disappears after a few seconds, whether you saw it or not.
Oh man. Also, whenever one of those pops, it interrupts whatever key press that you currently have active.
Does it really?
Yeah. So if you're in the middle of like galloping on a horse Horse stops completely. No more forward momentum.
So I was doing with the intro where you were trying to run away on the horse, and it was like explaining to me how horses work and how combat works, and like there's several pop-ups were coming up, and I'm like, I can't read these things. I'm running for my life right now. Why would you do this now? It's like there's a lot of tutorial pop-ups in the game that are just guaranteed to not be read by the player because they're going to die if they stop to read it. It's bizarre.
Oh man, he's trying.
Does he want us to go there now? Oh, he wants us to go back? Well, we have a flight master.
The backtrack. Alright, let's just
Flight
fly over
master!
there,
There's a fast way to do this. Although
Yeah,
nothing beats Dynasty Warriors 9, though, which in its tutorial lied about what buttons do. That's one of those tutorials where you have to do the action that it's telling you to do in order to continue, and to your face, it's just telling you the wrong button. And you have to find out the actual button that does the skill, because the game's just lying to you. It was fascinating. The tutorial, I was like, tutorial's too hard, guys, because I couldn't figure out how to beat the tutorial, because I had to realize that I had to just press random buttons till the right one popped up, because they were just not telling me what skills were mapped to.
Good luck, friend.
Oh, that was it. That was supposed to be a breadcrumb for the quest we did here.
Oh, did they think we were gonna go find them first?
I am honored.
I don't know.
Maybe they're just covering their asses just in case you didn't see the other one. I think they had a quest that sent us to there too, right? So I think they just both have a quest that sends you to the other one in case you don't find them both or something. I don't know. How far are you so far in KCD?
Not far enough. Like I said, I'm only a couple hours in. So I've done the stuff on the battlements, I've seen the things come by, and basically got to the next morning, and that was it.
Why does it sound so familiar every time I see that? Oh, the XKCD comic. Right. Is this our final haul? We'll be arriving.
Why does it look like the place we're going is in the middle of the water?
I'm not really sure what's going on with the map there. There was a town there before. Maybe they sunk it as part of Cataclysm. Or maybe the whole town's just gonna plop over the map when we get there. Is Nick dead?
Oh, Nick was just slow on the flight path.
I don't think Nick said anything other than slow on the fight path for like the last 15 minutes.
You guys are just having a good time with the conversation. I'm just letting you go. Especially since I don't really know what game you're talking about anyways, so.
Is your doggo right now?
Oh yeah, doggo
The
is...
Chronicle of Doggo Problems is over.
The doggo problem at the moment is I don't have any free time before or after work anymore.
Oh, I was joking, but they actually did sink the city.
Wake up, walk the dog, go to work, come home, walk the dog, eat, raid, go to bed.
So, this city used to be above water.
You don't say. I figured they just built it this way.
Well, I mean, it used to be above water in a previous version of the game. We gotta go inside and kill Horgast Flare Crazed because he took... apparently orcs have taken over the city.
Let's take a...
there's quests over here too.
Pretty good. Let's take a look here. Oh, this is just lovely. Significant geological instabilities. Threat of sudden massive topological destabilization. Nice to hear something bad might happen around here. I guess we'll just pick up our flooded town and fly it off somewhere safe.
I mean, that's why you're supposed to get a geological survey before you build and not after. That's how you just get bad news you can't do anything about.
Who would have thought
They want us to
building
kill
a
crabs,
keep
I
on
think?
top of swamped land would be a bad idea? Oh, hey, the harbor's still active. Okay. That's interesting.
Enter the keep, slay Horgast.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a change. I guess that explains why that whole chunk of the area looks like it's underwater. It actually was. No surprise.
Okay, Squeegee Jer.
Oh,
Lead the
yeah?
way.
Charge!
For Nomergon. And dead end. Well, this is a building we're very familiar with.
Almost like they've used it a lot.
I think they used the same building again in Burning Crusade for in the first town. Like they just stick to it. Whoa. He was mad at you. He didn't want to wait. Glory to Ragnaros.
All hail the Fire Lord.
Well. Interesting to see them setting up raids for later.
I'm gonna go up to the top and see if it's open.
There used to be fewer references to the endgame raids, weren't there?
I don't know.
Where it seems like zones now actually set them up regularly. Oh yeah, they also use this building in the Worgen starting zone.
It's a very common human building.
Yeah. It's the old building. Ouch.
No. Safe travel.
Gotta find Fitzsimmons Mead. Have you partaken in the new Star Trek?
The TV series?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
What's TV?
I mean, technically,
downstairs.
technically it's not a TV series. Because you can't watch it on TV. It's exclusive to their obnoxious, private, personal subscription service. Because now everyone has one.
What network?
Shit, was it NBC?
NBC, CBS, something like that.
Yeah, I don't think signing up for another service is gonna happen unless I cut one.
It's pretty obnoxious. Now Disney's planning one too.
I do have to say I am very pleased with Amazon's channels system, so that content providers can make their own subsection essentially and charge you a flat rate subscription for it.
And those are sharks.
And we gotta kill them.
Yeah, that seems like a fair fight. We'd definitely win this fight. The giant mega sharks that could swallow us whole.
Electricity underwater.
I'm not even sure if the electricity would be effective in this big of a body of water. Yeah, there's math there. It's probably like a plugin. I mean, there's probably a website that actually exists that tells you how dangerous X amount of electricity would be at what range in the ocean, because it disperses. But I think a lightning bolt, if it really nails it, could take out a shark, but it has to really nail it. Everyone can hold their breath like an undead now.
An undead can hold it even longer.
Yeah, weirdly, of all things, it feels like the newest Star Trek is modeled after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. which is a weird comparison, but it feels more like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. than it does a Star Trek show. Can we finish the entire quest before we drown?
Can we finish the entire quest?
I don't know. It's gonna be close. How fast do you die of drowning damage in this version?
I think it deals HP.
You don't die instantly?
I don't think so.
I think you used to take super fast DPS. Like it'd be like you were just melting your health bar or something.
Sounds about right.
Oh, one more shark.
One more shark. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I'm running out of blue. Got it. Oh yeah. Completed the entire quest without breathing. Achievement unlocked. You goddamn water strider. That's some bullshit.
Best mount ever.
I should just get my sea turtle. Who needs to run on top of water when you can just go faster through the water?
Well, the running on top of water looks awesome. You gotta remember style points.
Donald doesn't need style.
So they're really gonna try to stay living here, huh? With their increasingly subaquatic houses.
What can I do for you?
Oh
It's,
wow, the list is growing.
Evolution in progress.
What, like they're just gonna grow gills?
Yes.
That's not how... Yeah.
Sure it is.
To the north, guys! To the
Don't you-
north!
Don't you science at all, man?
Do you even science, bro?
Do you even science, bro?
The water strider's jump, it's just floppy. Got all these legs and they don't know what to do with them.
It makes a slight splatting noise when it lands.
Gross.
Should see what it does when he's standing still.
What?
Just full sentry mode.
Were you going the water's lava just now, Marty?
That whole getting tall thing is useful as a gnome.
Yeah, you can see real high all of a sudden. Higher than he's ever been. I like having the molten corgi, but when I have a pet fighting and then I summon the extra ads that are temporary and everything's just wailing on something and the corgi's just staring into space, it's a real weird look.
I mean, that sounds like it would be accurate.
The moment a fight starts, the corgi just develops this like 1,000-yard stare.
What is this little circle? Gobbler's head. I did not loot Gobbler's head.
Yeah, this gobbler wasn't here.
Gobbler's not here, man.
He's on the island to the north. I think. Saw a bigger looking murloc. Yeah, there he is.
Nope, that was him. A lot of local quests. Oh, right. We're like picking up a quest on the fly that's progressing while we're here.
It's kind of nice.
You don't want to make a trip back to town for every step?
You.
You don't find that endearing? Ow, why? Stop. So you talk about games being updated after launch and like post-launch support and everything. Have you heard about how Shovel Knight's been being handled?
You've told me that they essentially gave a full free expansion, right?
So originally there was just Shovel Knight, which was redubbed Shovel of Hope or something like that as that campaign's name. Then they added a new playable character with its own custom campaign. And then they did it again, and they're going to do it again this year. So it's going from being a 1 campaign game to being a 4 campaign game with no additional charges.
Hey,
That's really neat.
Want a gun?
Maybe. I don't know when the last time was I actually swapped mine out.
Alright, well, when we get back to town...
I don't think I've had so much luck. And an interesting little twist in that game is actually that all the new playable characters are boss fights from Shovel Knight's campaign. So they'll take a boss fight from his campaign and give them an entire backstory and campaign that explains what's going on, but also just gives you a chance to play a character that fundamentally has different moves, which isn't just like a combat thing, but actually like affects how they navigate worlds and play as a character.
That's pretty neat.
Why are the Marines all the way out here?
Because they're submarines. This is the part when I get banned from Discord.
Or boding silence. I kind of want to get Ashley to play Darkwood after all the survival games she keeps playing.
Want her to play what?
Darkwood.
Darkwood. I haven't heard of that.
It's just this really morbid kind of horror one.
You might be able to get Ashley to play a game, but you'll have to play Stardew for it to happen.
No. My nemesis for arbitrary reasons, mostly just because it's amusing to act afraid of that game.
Oh, we're going to the
Yep,
other
that's
ship.
an upgrade. People keep wanting a Let's Play of Stardew, and it just sounds like it'd be the most boring thing I could ever do.
The game is a lot of fun, and you don't have to play it for an eternity. You could play it for the like requisite 2 in-game or 3 in-game years, and that's the end of the story. So
yeah, like a normal person would beat the game as opposed to what Ashley does, which is start over every month and loop infinitely.
Anyone seeing this thing?
Apparently under us. It says time to join us, monk. Because it isn't the thing with Ashley that she still hasn't beaten the game a single time after like hundreds of hours.
Oh, she totally has.
Oh.
Is there like an access to even further under the ship?
Maybe.
Yes.
She's definitely got like a really specific niche in mind because she's looping between that and Subnautica and Harvest Moon. It's like she just likes like crafting games, I guess. We did it. It's Fitzsimmons cinch. We did it. That was a cinch. Ow. Get out.
It's not that it's particularly crafting games. They just each have some element that draws for her. Stardew and Harvest Moon really work because while there's things to fight and do,
Oh, I'm a zombie.
she really likes the mellow experience of essentially getting to make decisions that are nice and slow paced. And while she still plays the game really fast, the slow pace works for her.
Are you guys undead?
No.
Yes.
I'm a spooky ghost. And I actually didn't notice when it happened. I was swimming across the ocean, and I was swimming like 2 feet above the water. Vague, just unnerving.
Pretty sure it happened while we were fighting the things, the ghosts.
Now I actually fit my mount.
Anyway, I played Stardew, had a blast with it. I didn't see a need to sink hundreds of hours into it, but I definitely put in 40 or 50 probably.
I always just have the feeling of like I don't know how to react when people are like, I want you to do a let's play of this game that's about routine. It's like inherently going to be the most I'm doing a loop and I have nothing to talk about game possible.
It's not necessarily a loop. You have to make decisions about your farm, about what you do. You don't have to spend any time on the farm if you don't want to. You could go in the mines and kill shit.
That was oh, that's a merchant. Thought I was missing a quest or something.
No, I was just selling things. It's yeah. It's very much the experience that you make of it. It's got story, it's got events, it's got, people have their own little intricacies if you care. I didn't care. I just grabbed the wrong item. No, that was fine.
Level 25, we can start the quest item. What? Oh. Hey guys, guess what? Whenever I click on the level 25 quest item, it says you've already completed that quest.
We
What?
did it.
Why did that require me to be level 25 if I've already done the quest?
I think it's bugged.
That's so bizarre. That's a very large mount.
It has vendors on it.
What?
Yeah.
You have a mount that gives you vendors?
There's another version of it that comes complete with a transmog person.
I'm just more alarmed about like where these people are coming from.
Go with honor, friend.
They're in my pocket too.
What even are they? That's a Draenor and a robot? Huh. Things got
it's
weird.
a robot on Alliance? Interesting.
What was it for you?
It's a goblin.
Oh.
Oh wait, no. No, it's not. Who is it? It's the it's that Hosen and
You guys know where
Troll?
Glorin is?
Oh, who? What? Where?
Lauren Steelbrow at Menethil Harbor.
See you around.
You
Maybe he's
have
out on the boat.
You guys have a... Oh,
He must
yeah,
be
but
out somewhere
what?
else.
Is this
I'm like-
place called
I'm like-
Menethil Harbor?
Yeah, we're at Menethil Harbor. That's why it's confusing. I don't see like a icon anywhere. Goodbye.
See if we
Goodbye,
can find
boat. I think that boat.
Who are you
that
looking
boat. That boat
for?
takes you to the Night Elf zone.
Looking for Glorin Steelbrow. Glorin Steelbrow.
Can you share that quest? Because
It was the Eye of Paleth. Bring the cursed eye patch of Paleth to Glorin Steelbrow. It came off one of the mobs we killed over there.
Oh, I didn't get that. Okay.
At the moment, it's our only quest, right?
Yeah.
There's one up front here for Swiftgear Station.
We might have finished
I don't
Wetlands
see
already.
this guy. So, you say that, but I still show 2 sections of Wetlands incomplete in my achievement tracking.
I only have one. The only one I'm missing is engineers and archaeologists.
Yeah, I don't have Flooding of Menethil complete.
How do you get to the achievements for this zone? Or in general?
Just press Y to bring up achievements and search for Wetlands.
It's also on the map too. If you press M, there will be a story progress thing over the quest log on that zone.
Oh yeah, the flooding of Menethil and engineers and archaeologists.
Let's see. This shows Glorin at where I'm standing. Maybe he's in here?
In the end,
Yeah, there he is.
Oh.
So I don't have the item?
Yeah, so what happened is we sold the item.
Really?
Yeah. I just went back and got it from buyback and now he's on the map.
Thank you, Keith.
We unprogressed the quest by selling the item. So if you go back and get
It's
it from
an offhand.
buyback,
Got it.
then
Yeah,
he
I got it.
then it shows up as on the map as the thing you can go to. Whoops.
Brilliant.
oh man, I am so glad I didn't vendor first.
Did you have the quest?
I guess, because I finished that chapter.
Yeah, that was the last one for that chapter. And now I have the breadcrumb.
Yep. Now all I need is flooding of Menethil. What's a breadcrumb? Besides a crumb of bread.
Do you see a quest?
Oh,
on the
you
front
mean
now?
the next icons on them? Okay. Yeah, the dinosaurs thing. Dinosaur Crisis. Capcom reference.
You
Is
know
it-
what he's talking about, Nick?
No?
Hey there.
Breadcrumb meaning a breadcrumb to the next quest hub, essentially.
Yeah, I didn't understand the dinosaur crisis thing.
Yeah, that's what has me confused. I don't know where Keith is. Are you flying somewhere, Keith?
The other waypoint, the other flight master spot looked slightly closer.
Okay, but do you have Swiftgear Station?
Swiftgear Station?
Yeah, do
Yeah.
you have the quest?
Yeah, Dinosaur Crisis.
What? No, I have a quest called Swiftgear Station. Do you have that?
I
I'm
apparently
sharing
did
with
not.
it.
Just when I looked, I just was highlighting I was highlighting Swiftgear Station, and there was an exclamation point that said Dinosaur Crisis.
All right. Yeah, I do agree that flying to Wheelgear's Retreat is closer, but yeah, there was actually a quest in the place we were at to go there.
Shh. Oh look, more gnolls. As far as Dinosaur Crisis Capcom goes, there's an entire franchise of Resident Evil-like games that were called Dino Crisis
I'm vaguely aware of this.
on the PS1. Same thing of like tank controls and pre-rendered environments and stuff.
Were they PS1 or were they arcade games?
They were PS1. I think I have one of them somewhere in here.
I mean, Herder, what's a PS1?
What's that?
Keith, never mind.
Oh, you're trying to pretend to not know what consoles are?
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, you're like all the way over there, and Nick is just landing.
shh. Fine, I'm clearing the way from Knowles.
It's
Which
alright.
definitely
Getting
won't-
any of the experience.
definitely
You're
won't have
finally
a-
out of sync.
They won't have immediately respawned, I'm sure.
It's okay. The Donald likes a challenge. Oh, and I'm getting experience.
That was for me killing something.
Someone else is here. I see corpses that I didn't make. Who knew that there would be other players in this MMO?
It's actually more likely to encounter people than it used to be with the whole connected realm nonsense. They dynamically scale out copies of these old zones that are not populated usually.
They really did add the new races like right after we started this.
Yeah, they did.
And they really don't seem different enough to care, honestly.
They have different racials, so I guess people do care.
When I heard there was going to be a bunch of new races, I was rather disappointed to find that they were just going to be like night elves, but a little bluer or something like that, is like what most of them are. Like a slight color change and a few other switches for like an existing thing.
Okay, killing Crocodilus.
Oh yeah, there is a tiny little gnome somewhere on that dragon.
Missing the most important part though. The words. You're forgetting the mana addiction.
Mana addiction?
Yeah, the elves, but bluer. And mana addicted.
Oh, they've got like a thing. Are you still mana addicted if you're like a rogue?
Yeah.
So they added skooma elves.
Yeah. I got a tag on this rare spawn that this guy killed. Or maybe it's not a rare spawn.
Maybe it's just a spawn. So you guys still doing, God, what's the Factorio thing called?
C block?
C block.
I'm actually working on my final vanilla unmodded achievement. I need to craft 20 million green chips or something like that.
Oh. So it's not even like an interesting one, but like just like a mass production one?
Yep, but it has its own challenge in that that's really a lot of green chips.
Hang on, Marty, we're outraging keys.
Yeah. And I definitely don't have enough Crocodilus kites.
I admittedly was just kind of killing things I saw.
Like you do?
Like you do. Oh man, look at all these dead dinosaurs everywhere. They must be in crisis. Oh, Horror Jaw. Is that the guy you're talking about?
Yeah. I imagine that we get sent back out here to kill him.
Yeah, that's...
What would make you say that?
There might be some circumstantial evidence that might point towards that being the case. Well, unfortunately, he does not drop hide, somehow, despite having more hide than all the other ones. I've missed one hide. And I can see it from here. We've had messages inviting us to play, like, the tabletop simulator version of Twilight Imperium.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah. It's kind of terrifying.
Even though that module was created by people watching our stream.
I'm like, no, though. That seems like a miserable day.
I could see it being fun, but I could always just get a bunch of people in my living room to play the game, which is my preferred way.
Which you paid money for.
Yeah, were you out of the loop on that, Nick?
I think.
Two of the guys that watch one of our games went and created a module for Tabletop Simulator for Twilight Imperium together. They were both independently working on one.
And then to realize each other existed.
Yeah.
It's a funny coincidence to have. Also maybe a little soul crushing if that didn't meet each other, to be like working on that for that long only to realize that somebody else also did the work, and it's like, why did we both do all the work?
I couldn't figure out a way to contact them, and I don't have Tabletop Simulator, so I couldn't post comments on the page.
Am I crazy, or are there like a total of like 2 egg spawns in the entire environment?
Yeah,
and we have to collectively get like 18 of them.
Yeah, you see that tiny little sliver of quest area on the map? Hey, look, 2 more up here.
Well, this is a predicament.
Back out. Look, these 2 have respawned. Now let's take one of them. Oh, there's another 2 on the backside.
I need 3.
I am all done.
I just got my first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the rest are for you then. There's one more over here, Keith.
There's 2. These 2 are back again. Yeah, looks like they respawn fast enough, and there's just enough for you to beat the quest in one run. It's just that when you're here as a group, it's like, oh no, they're all gone.
You guys both have all your hides already, right?
Yeah, I got everything.
Yep, we got it.
I'm gonna go get one more. And I accept the fact that all of these crocolists are dead.
Are there none to get?
Found one.
Don't worry, I'm turning them in. I'm sure that none of them will tell us to go kill some kind of giant crocodile that's over there.
Spoiler, we have to go kill
Slay
the
Horror Jaw,
crocodile
collect Horror Jaw's hide.
He didn't have any. We already tried.
I know. I already tried to kill him specifically for his hide. What is this nonsense?
If only there were a way to predict these kinds of situations.
This is happening constantly to me in Monster Hunter World. Is that you go do a mission, but they'll put you in the open environment where you can roam around and encounter stuff. So I'll go around and kill every type of monster that's there and take them all out and have a grand old time. But then the next 3 missions will be them telling me one by one to kill each of the monsters I've already killed. And when I get there, a cutscene plays like I've never seen it before, and I'm like shocked by this crazy monster.
Ridiculous.
And it's like I'm like, not only have I killed it before, I've killed it so many times my entire armor set is made of it. Like the idea that I could be like wearing his entire family and yet being shocked by the discovery of this bizarre creature I've never seen before.
Oh good, these guys have a chance to drop their ingots.
Isn't that your favorite?
It wouldn't be so bad if I didn't need 8 of them, and I have 0.
Well, I have 1.
I have 2.
You need to turn around and loot the ones that Nick killed.
Evidently. Oh, there's one.
Like, I was just spreading out to get the gizmo things.
Which, for the first time ever, there's an abundance of.
There's so many. I think this would be the most horrifying power to have, my ability to just conjure giant crabs out of nowhere. Giant man-eating mega crabs. They just show up, and they're horrible.
Seems like the way to go. If I could have one superpower, it would be summoning giant man-eating horror crabs out of nowhere.
Yay! Take that immortality and flying and teleporting and healing factor. I can summon crabs. Like, my superpower is I can tell how much longer it'll take for the toaster to go off. And I'm always right. It is I, humble aspirations man. With my completely reasonable expectations and requests. I only want a little.
Oh man,
And that's a dinosaur.
you're a dinosaur.
Oh shit, already? I mean, I don't understand Snapchat, so I feel like that sometimes.
You don't understand Snapchat in this day and age.
Really haven't made any effort to try.
I think you gotta. Oh. Never mind. I was gonna say, I think you have to turn around.
I was like, it deletes everything you post? Huh. I made it like that far. I've never installed it or looked at it.
I've definitely never used it.
I mean, I can't blame all the kids for wanting to run to some new social media that doesn't feature all of their parents saying racist things all day.
That sounds like the promised land and like it doesn't exist.
Like, I think that's one of the reasons, like, it used to be that the kids would be the ones on social media because their parents wouldn't know about it, but now it's like all the cranky old people are on the old social media, so every generation people move to a new one to escape their own parents.
How are you?
Knew a guy in high school whose parents didn't want him on Facebook, and they were on Facebook to make sure that he wasn't. And so he had to make an account that didn't actually have his name on it, so they couldn't find him.
Yeah, I had that. My half aunt, who is significantly younger than me, her parents are like Seventh-day Adventists and hyper protective and really obsessive and everything, and they wouldn't let her go on Facebook, so she had to make her own like pseudo account with weird fake names and everything. I feel like that stops working relatively quickly though. If you're friends with all the same people and stuff like that, then like quickly they would like
Narrow it down.
Yeah, the friendship algorithms would recommend that they meet this person that is their daughter with a different name. Like that has to happen relatively quickly.
We're missing Nick.
Oh yeah?
I was vendoring stuff
How dare you?
with my mobile vendor too, so I don't even know why I was standing still.
You literally use the vendor that's designed to be running around. Giant doofy mammoth. How does that one piece of armor stay on? That's weird. He has a weird like butt plate armor that's just in one spot and not attached to any of the rest of his armor. We did a ding. It's definitely slowing down. We've only gained 6 so far. I thought it felt way too early for Scarlet Halls, but then I remember that it's like a 5-part instance that all have different level requirements.
Yeah.
I think of like the level like 42 part is the main part I think of, where you do the boss fight.
There's a boss in everyone.
Well, I mean, the one where it's like you seem to be taking down their leadership or something. And it has like the secret chamber behind the boss fight where you pick up like a loot item and a little weird side quest guy, I think, shows up. It's been a while.
I have an interrupt.
Oh, right. I should be checking my skill tree. Or my skill book. I haven't been checking to see if I've learned anything for the last 6 levels.
Clearly, if you did, it's not important.
Whoops. We did it, they're safe. It's a good thing those were the only ones. Wow. Believable simulation. The knoll runs 5 feet and then vanishes.
Oh, that's what the keys are for.
Yeah.
Like, what am I using these keys for?
Even though we were just wiping out all the knolls like 2 minutes ago. Now it's like, now we're saving them.
I think we're just freeing them so they fight the trappers.
This seems to be implying a level of help that we don't need. We've done it. We rescued them. They're also definitely not fighting the trappers. They're definitely just disappearing. Like 2 feet away.
There's so many trappers shooting me from nowhere. Like, what the hell?
They've got aggro radius, apparently. It's excessive. Did Ashley mention my new, like, biggest form of media I've ever owned thing?
No.
I ordered the Sandman Omnibus set. So it's just, Neil Gaiman's Sandman in 2 volumes total.
Okay.
And, they are excessive, is the word to explain it. They're the biggest books I've ever seen in my life. And they're bigger than any collector's edition or any book or movie or anything I've owned that was media before. And they're actually absurdly heavy, and they're cumbersome to a point where, like, I actually, like, don't know what the situation is in which I'd read them. Where like I feel like I need to have like a what do they call that thing? Like an altar, like at a church.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Like I need to have an altar that this book sits on, and I just turn pages on it sometimes, and then it just sits there when I'm not reading it, wherever I left off, and I slowly work through like the Bible or something, because like I can't hang out in my computer chair or like sit in bed with this mega book and like fit it anywhere. Like there's no comfortable position to read it in. That's where you're holding it. It's like, it's really like a whole new problem I've never had to consider about book reading, because these books are so absurd.
Once you have a book that large, you realize that it's really just for decoration. And you better have a Kindle version of it on the side.
You really have the realization of like, oh, turns out it seemed like a cool idea until you had one and you're like, this is excessive.
Yeah, why would I want this?
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now, and it's 2 volumes, and each individual volume is basically a PS4. And that's a bit silly. I've just been wanting to try Neil Gaiman, because there's the Sandman series, and then right now his I think it's American Gods series is an HBO series right now, based on his work. And then it's always like a big hype thing when he randomly comes in to do like an episode of Doctor Who or something. Like he did the one called The Doctor's Wife, I think. where the TARDIS was alive and it was like it looked like a Tim Burton lady.
I'm gonna go ahead and admit that I have no idea who that is.
We did it.
And we have to run back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only we could spend some more time running back and forth.
We took out Yorla Darksnare.
Do you think that's the last one for this quest chain?
This might be it. We may have conquered a whole new zone. 2 zones in one day. Well, not really.
Finished a zone.
Yeah. Killing blows all that matters, right? It's just like in our D&D campaign, where I only marginally help, but I definitely get all the kill credit. And I have all the experience. I'm still leading in experience, because aside from individual moments where one guy gets like 50 experience for their own private adventure for a moment, like I've gotten every piece of experience that's been awarded so far in the series, whether I was really helping that much or not.
Plus, you've had multiple occasions where you gained individual experience.
Yep. Like my private boss fight.
Yeah.
Or me beating all of you at a tournament.
Welcome.
Yeah.
But only through happenstance and luck, because because you guys all had to fight each other, and I didn't have, and I only fought people that had already fought other people, and the health was persistent. That was fair.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
About as fair as D&D tends to be.
Where do we go from here?
I think the zone's over, right?
Yeah.
We legit just finished the zone.
Oh yeah.
So where do we want to maybe log off and Dune Motor?
Dune Lodor? What?
Or do we want to take the harbor to our next zone?
Like take the boat?
Yeah. Do we know where it goes?
It goes to Tirisfal Glades, I think. Like the Night Elf starting areas. So not
You mean
super conducive to what we're
Teldrassil?
going for.
Steersfall Glades is definitely
I was thinking of Darkshore.
We could
Oh,
do
yeah.
Arathi Highlands.
I'm trying to remember where Arathi Highlands is.
Just north
Right.
of here. Though I've definitely done that zone as Horde.
We're looking for like a 25 zone, right?
Yeah. Just north of us, 25 to 60.
I mean, they all scale up to us too, so we don't have to.
Yeah, we could do the Night Elf starting area. Or whatever stems off of that. Stranglethorn starts at 25.
Southern Barrens, oh yeah.
Westfall is 10 to 60.
I'm confused by that. Yeah, we could go down to that zone. There's zones like there's Red Ridge and Westfall and Duskwood and stuff like that. There's a dense chunk of zones that are all around this, that are all in a level we could do. I'm confused why it's 10 to 60.
Because they'll scale up to the max level of the expansion.
Oh right, they all go to 60 now.
Ghostlands is 10 to 60.
I was like selectively noticing that for some reason.
Ghostlands
Hillsbrad is 15 to 60.
Ghostlands is Blood Elf though.
I'm just looking at the map, man.
Wait, is it?
Do you guys want to go on an adventure through the railroad?
I think we should be looking for a place to log out. We're already 2.25 at this point.
I'm already at an inn, aren't I? Is this an inn? Oh yeah, this is an inn. I was standing at an inn.
Holy crap.
Ta-da! I was standing at
We
it in
did
the whole
it.
time. Surprise!
We did it.
We did it. Not Reddit. Don't give them credit. No Reddit credit today.
No credit, no regret. You're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it if you give Reddit credit.
Okay, we're closing on that.
All right. See you guys next time.
It'd be irresponsible to continue after that.